All right, we got our final fights here on path 1 in the Crucible. We're going to swap out Hulk here for Overseer to take down this ManThing. Nothing too crazy on him. You do have unblockable specials, and there is Power Shield and Flare. So you're going to do all your damage through specials, and you're going to be hitting really hard, but you are going to take a bunch of degen. But based on class advantage, so as you use a Science Champion, it's not going to be so much, you'll be able to survive the degen no problem. I just don't like his unblockable special 1 too much. The special 1 has always been an annoyance for me, so I just try to push to special 2 if I can the entire time, and then and there's really nothing else to it. It's really a ManThing with unblockable specials, and once that flare runs out, you have like half health left, and you could more than enough to finish it off. With Overseer, you can get some regen in there as well. And again, just build up big specials and you're good to go. So nothing super crazy on this one. Again, I like to push to special 2. I don't like to deal with the special 1. So I did use a lot of like my striker into combos, into specials, or special 1 stuns, just anything that to do to push him to special 2. So hopefully that helps. I'll let the music play out for this one because it is still a little bit slow, and we will see you on the next fight. All right, next up is Void. For this Void, you want someone who can put on a ton of debuffs. Either you have to, if you're going to knock him down at all, you have to do it with 6 or more debuffs. If you don't have someone who can put on debuffs, then you cannot knock him down at all. You just have to do brute force damage and manage your combo meter, because again, he's going to put intimidating debuffs on you. Every 10 hits is going to remove 1. So there's also Safeguard on here. So the main way to get, he takes an extra bit of burst damage. If you are able to put 6 or more debuffs on and knock him down, then he takes a bunch of burst damage. So Lady Deathstrike here puts on a ton of ruptures. So I can go ahead, throw my special, and then when it finishes, he gets a burst damage there. So that's all I'm going to do. And at the same time, so similar to other fights where you're focusing on a couple things at once, I'm focused on my combo meter on the left in tandem with his intimidating debuff timer on the right, as well as how many debuffs I have on him when I throw a special. And after you throw a special, it's going to get rid of all the debuffs that are on him in exchange for that burst damage. So you have to be aware that every time you start up the next combo, before you throw a special, make sure you are over 6 debuffs. So for the most part here, it's not too bad. Every so often, I take a little bit of chip damage, either from letting an intimidating debuff on me, like right there, it was on me for a few seconds, and I take a little bit of chip damage. Parry hit, a little bit of chip damage. But for the most part, I'm able to get through this one. Lady Deathstrike, it's only a rank 1 unduped Lady Deathstrike. I didn't even bother with a striker on this one because I just was lazy. But I think that's for a lot of them. If it was a champion I don't use very often, but was a good champion to use here, I didn't necessarily put on a striker. You should. And if you feel like you want to get through them faster, you could boost up. I was not boosted up. So, you can go, again, this is like some of the bare minimum stuff. I know a 7-star for some people is not the bare minimum, but it's just a 7-star rank 1 Lady Deathstrike, and she did an excellent job. I'll let the music play out, and we'll see you at the next fight. All right, next is the Platinumpool with Smorgasbord. I think I did this one with Mortal Abomination on my channel. If you go to my channel, there's a playlist with all the Act 7 bosses. If you want different ideas for these fights, that's a place where you can go. This one, I saw Shuri, and then the only issue here is that you don't really want to throw any specials because you don't want to put on like the passive shocks, because those aren't going to count for Smorgasbord. So I just went ahead and just used basic attacks, because what happens here is that you need to put on 10 debuffs that Platinumpool takes as snack charges, and those are the on the like the pink timer there. You need to get 10 of those before that timer ends. If you do that, then you get a bunch of degen on Platinumpool, and that's where the majority of your damage is going to come in. So you can see right now he's taking a bunch of degen, and then you have to get 10 more debuffs on again before that next timer. If you don't, he's going to get a bunch of regen, and he's probably going to heal up to full, and that's going to be very annoying. So that is the entirety of the node. If you use anyone who puts on a ton of debuffs, because then he's going to purify them all, and they're going to become snack charges. So that is all you're doing. Rinse and repeat, bait some specials, put on as many snack charges as you can. Make sure you get to 10 before they expire. It gets a little dicey in a couple places on this one where I get it right at the end. And at the same time, there's also juke. So if you do alternate between medium and light ending hits, you will be hitting harder the longer the fight goes on. But the majority of the damage and the way you're going to make sure that you win the fight is focusing just on those snack charges. So again, you can check my channel out for another way to do this one. But Shuri did work out all right. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Alright guys, the penultimate fight, we've got the Dragon Man. He's got a stunning reflection that can only be removed with a poison or an incinerate, but that's not how we're going to deal with him. We're going to deal with him with Void, because we can get the Petrifies on and the intimidating debuffs. We can manage his healing. In order to get rid of the power gain, you just have to block the special one, or block any of his specials to remove it, but just don't stun him. And as long as you don't put on a debuff that he is immune to, or else he's going to gain a bunch of extra power. So Void absolutely keeps this fight in check the entire time. Just hold block, beta heavy, push him to a special one, take it on the block, and of course, you know, when you put either during the timer for his intimidating debuffs or your specials, you're going to be putting them on. Obviously in this fight I want the Petrify, and obviously I'm going to get the 4 other debuffs before I get a single Petrify on. But once I get the Petrifies going, I'm in great shape, and there's really not much to do here. Even though I'm cornered here, I'm going to back away, hit him against hit it in his block just to get some spacing, and from then on it is pretty straightforward. I'll let the music play out, but there's nothing too crazy about this one. I think I did it with Torch on my other account. Again, check out the playlist if you want to see that. But for here, Void worked absolutely fantastic. I think we finished with almost a full yellow bar. So I'll let the music play out, and then we'll get to the final boss of the path. All right, guys, welcome back to the final boss of the path. I'm going with one of my all-time best videos, which is Doom against GwenMaster. All the nodes are there, including Juiced, which is going to make your attack ramp up huge. The main thing that I had trouble with on this one is her change in size. Really kind of messed me up with this first phase a little bit. I'm usually not so bad at evading specials and reverse controls. The other thing here is that so I start off fine. The idea is you're supposed to be swapping her diamond form and her regular form, and because you can see like the whole screen seems to be shrinking and increasing, I messed up a little bit of my spacing here. And I was trying to bait specials and also switch her stances, which is you need like more power on you and less power on GwenMaster. So I'm kind of doing it, but at the same time, I'm not getting enough of it. And the change in her height is really confusing on here. I think I shouldn't have been throwing those specials there. I should have been more focused on pushing her over the bar of power. And I think I had a chance right there to actually complete the task. And I was trying really hard to push her to another mode, but instead I screwed up. This is the full damage of the special 2, and I have to redo phase 1 again. So it's fine. I survived. If you bring in a top champion, I know Juggernaut's been the big one being used here. I don't have a Juggernaut ranked up on my main account because he's immune to reverse controls here. But here, again, I get clipped again, but the longer I'm in this fight, the more damage I'm doing. I finally figure out how to get... but you have to evade it like 4 times while switching her stance. So there I'm up to 3. I need to evade 1 more, but of course I screw up, take it on the block. I'm going to go for an intercept here, and luckily I change her stance, I think. Yeah, I'm able to change their stance, and I'm able to get this last evade just in time, and I actually finished the first phase. That special 2 doesn't do anything, and now, unfortunately, I thought I could get the intercept there. You don't in this second phase. You just want to get regular hits. You do not want to hit into the block. You do not want to throw any specials, and you can see how hard I'm hitting from those Furies. The fight is going to end before I even get to the third phase. So even if you play ugly, you can still get through this one. Yeah, that's it for the first path. We did have a few revives. I hope this helps, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.